everyone. Welcome to today's Sunday New Play Showcase, the Zygloom Conundrum, written by playwright extraordinaire Ralph Turley. We are really excited to present this brand new work to everybody. Hi, Ralph. How are you doing today?
Hello.
Awesome. What inspired you to write this play, Ralph?
Well, I was very glad that it's being done by Majestic Theater because I consider them my muse. My good friend.
Ralph, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Let's see. I got it unmuted. You can't hear it?
Oh, I don't know what's going on with your mic, my friend.
It was fine before. I'd said I was blocked. Is there any way?
Huh. All right, let me check to see if anybody else can hear you.
Somebody just texted they could.
Hi, everybody. Magic of Live Theater. Anyway, Ralph has actually been working on this play for the past couple of months. When I talked to him about doing his awesome play, Derek the Seventh, which some of y'all may have remembered went up a couple of weeks ago on a Saturday, then that's one of his things. Ralph, I can't hear you, but other people can. So I think we're fine there.
All right, so
go ahead, Ralph. Tell us a little bit about your play.
I was going to say, they invited me, Johanna, a good friend of mine from my college years at Oregon State, invited me to go to see Midsummer Night's Dream. And I went and saw it and enjoyed it thoroughly and came away inspired with the idea that it was the birth of a whole new art form. And I thought, well, a lot of people see virtual theater as being limiting what you can do, but I saw it as kind of freeing. It allowed me to write stuff that you can't put in a normal play. And so I took a story that I'd been trying to develop as dinner theater that never really worked. And once I took it from a restaurant and put it onto on the web, everything fell into place, and it pretty much wrote itself. And you put together an awesome cast, and they all jumped into it 100%. I think everything's just went good.
All right. Your mouth has stopped moving, so I'm going to assume you're talking because, excitingly, it's the stage manager who's having technical difficulties right now. So I can't hear, but I think we're about to start the show, and it's going to be super great. And we'll get started while I figure out what's going on with my speakers. Please enjoy Ralph Turley's The Zygloom Conundrum.
The work you're about to see is not based on a true story. It is total fiction. Please remember that if you begin to feel alarmed. We take no responsibility for any panic in the streets, which might be caused by audience members believing it is real. Conversely, if during our production by pure happenstance, the Earth really is invaded by creatures from outer space, please comply with the instructions of your local authorities. We take no responsibility for any suspension of belief inadvertently created by our previous disclaimer. And now, enjoy the show.
Hi, love.
Hello.
Are you drinking already?
Oh, yes. Well, it's after 9 here in Chicago, and I deserve, a celebratory nightcap.
An exhibition of exaltation would indicate that you got the grant.
They doubled what I was asking. Once they were able to grok the implications of my new peptide ketone synthesis, they were more excited about it than I was.
Pity you had to fly there to explain it. It seemed quite obvious to me. So don't overdo the celebration and forget your early flight tomorrow.
Oh, no, I had to book a later one. O'Hare is experiencing delays due to disturbances in the ionosphere.
Wait, don't airplanes traverse the troposphere?
Yes, I believe magnetic flux bleed over might hinder their instrumentation, but you can ask Robert, that's his field. He should be here soon. I sent him the link.
Well, I'm happy to have a few moments alone with you first. I miss you.
Oh, miss you too, love. but I'll be back underfoot soon enough. I think it's wonderful Robert found someone. He's typically painfully shy around women.
No, it's not such a wonder. He's a handsome boy and he has a great job. I just hate to think he might be settling.
Oh, don't fret on that. Men of my line have always proven empirically superior in the quest to procure the perfect mate, and none have demonstrated that assumption half as well as I.
You do say the sweetest things. Well, we both proved incredibly lucky on that score, dear.
Luck is a subjective construct. I say it was serendipitous.
And I concur. Now, please don't get too tipsy and embarrass Robert in front of his new girl. What did you have for supper?
Oh, now that you mention it, between jet lag and the symposium, I plumb forgot to eat.
Oh, Howard Starr, you call room service right now and order something. You need to have food in your stomach if you're going to drink.
Good idea. Yeah, good idea. Thanks, dear.
Oh, hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Good to see you both.
Oh, Robbie, you're looking fit. Where's your fiancé?
About that, sorry to do this, but I just logged on to tell you I can't make it.
But you did make it. You're here.
Yes, but I need to log back off again. Big emergency at work.
Oh. Is it related to disturbances in the ionosphere?
Where'd you hear about those?
Your father's flight home was delayed. Do those affect the troposphere?
To a nominal extent, but that's just a side effect. This is significant, huge really, phenomenon never seen before.
What kind of phenomenon?
Sorry, can't say. Top secret, highly classified. If I told you I could be arrested. But watch the news tomorrow. It's that big.
You know, if your lady friend got cold feet, that's fine with us. There's really no need to make up any stories about it.
No story, Dad. It's legit. And Doris may still be joining you. I've been unable to reach her since my orders came, and she tends to neglect her voicemail. She's reminiscent of you in absent-mindedness, but sharp as a tack in her studies.
Well, just stay on long enough to introduce us. It just wouldn't be polite to make the poor girl meet us alone.
I think you'll find Doris comfortable introducing herself. This setup was more her idea than mine.
You know, it can be very traumatic confronting one's fiancé's parents for the first time for most people.
Doris isn't most people, and don't confront her. Be nice.
Please try to reschedule. It just wouldn't be fair to her.
You want an even playing field, huh? I'll try, but the NASA Emergency Task Force will be severing my civilian contact at any time. That security protocol when patching me into the mainframe.
Wait, you're not reporting to base?
No time. They want me on ASAP. I told you this was big.
Well, love you, son. Are you going to reschedule with Doris?
I'll try, promise. Love you, Mom. You too, Dad.
Did you find something to eat yet?
Still perusing the options for something appealing.
Oh.
Hello. You must be Mr. and Mrs. Starr.
Oh, and you must be Doris. Delighted to meet you.
Yes, glad to meet you, Miss McKenna. But I'm afraid we have bad news. Robert's been called away.
Oh, no. I missed his call.
He's home, but he's being linked to NASA on emergency protocol. They're cutting his access to outside calls.
I've never done that before. What kind of emergency?
Oh, couldn't tell us. Highly classified?
I went to voicemail. Guess my timing was bad here.
Oh, I wouldn't worry. It might just be a drill of some sort.
Yeah, true. He might just log back on. I hope you can stay on and get acquainted, but we understand if you'd rather wait until Robert can be here.
No, I'm so excited to finally meet the people who made Robert. You did such a terrific job. I really owe you my thanks.
No, just doing our part to aid mankind's endeavor to achieve an evolutionary pinnacle.
You may have succeeded. Mr. Starr, Robert tells me you're up for an MSI grant in Chicago?
Oh, and triumphed majestically. Do you know anything about parthenogenic propagation?
No, but it sounds fascinating. And you, Mrs. Starr. Robert tells me you won the Frontiers of Knowledge Award for redefining the relationship between syntax and morphemes.
I haven't won it yet. Just merely one of the finalists.
Well, he says you're a shoo-in. I knew coming in the source of Robert's towering intellect, but I didn't realize until now where he got his good looks.
Well, you certainly take the prize for flattery, my dear.
Most sincere, I assure you.
Robert tells us you're an anthropologist.
Cultural anthropologist.
So you study the development of human society?
My wife is a walking dictionary.
Linguistic psychologist.
And I'm a molecular biologist with an emphasis in genetics.
I think Mr. Starr wins this round.
I like her, Helen. Robert's serendipity may even rival my own.
Tell me, Doris, how did you meet my son?
He didn't tell you?
Evidently, he expounded more about us than more about you. He hasn't even told us exactly what you do.
Well, I work at the Houston Natural History Museum, and I'm developing a doctoral thesis on the extinction of indigenous species.
Extinction seems like a grim subject for such a sweet young lady.
My focus is on prevention. Anyway, we didn't meet at the museum. I met him on a tour of the NASA Johnson Visitor Center.
You're interested in space.
Who isn't? I don't know why he was there that day. I just thought he was handsome. And when I found out he was an astrologer, I just...
Astronomer.
What?
Yeah, he's an astronomical physicist, not an astrologer.
I mix those words up sometimes. I know they both involve stars.
Both involve all non-terrestrial objects, but what Robert does is the noblest of all the hard sciences. Astrology is nothing but a preposterous sham.
You must be a Taurus.
Well played, Miss McKenna.
I know our courtship might seem whirlwind to you, but Robert and I are truly, deeply in love with one another. I have nothing but tremendous admiration for both of you, and very much desire we get along.
Oh, don't mind Helen. She lives to play these games. She really does like you, I think.
Oh, he's right. I believe you really are okay.
Your entire family is superlatively okay in my book. I hope one day to be part of it. But now I think it's time I go. If Robert comes back, please have him call me.
You can be sure he will. And when he does, ring him out for stranding you here alone with us.
It was a genuine pleasure. Ta-ta.
Oh, well, our Robert did well. Very fine young lady, I think.
Did you order something to eat yet?
Still deducing what I'm in the mood for.
Howard Starr, put the drinks down right now and don't touch it again until we've eaten.
All right, I am mon capitaine.
I want to keep the chat open in case Robert comes back, but I need to tinkle. Can you hold down the fort?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Thanks.
What is...
How do you do?
Back already? I'm still looking, honey. They offer quite an eclectic selection of comestibles here.
Am I addressing Rob Erstar?
What's that about Robbie's address, dear?
Summon your apex so I may deliver our ultimatum to your top potentate.
What? Oh, potato. That'll just hit the spot. Thanks, hon. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, hello. Could you get me room service?
Rob Erstar now summons their apex. The Earth apex would appear to be someone named Rooms Ervath.
Yes. Room 222. Yeah, one baked potato with the works. Butter, sour cream, chives, bacon bits, all three cheeses, scallions, jalapenos, the whole thing. Oh? Okay, send it up when you can, I guess. Honey, Whoa. Who are you?
Rob Star?
No, you're not Robert Starr.
You are Rob Star.
No, I am Howard Starr.
How? Star? I am Zygloom Ambassador Cactorox.
Ambassador who from where? What is...
Cactorox of Zygloom. As this mission's top diplomatic attaché, I am superlatively fluent in every one of Earth's languages. Would you prefer to converse in another?
I'm back. Oh, hello. Who's your friend?
Cannot be Apex.
What? No, she's Helen Starr, my wife. Helen, this is Ambassador Cactorox.
When will rooms of us arrive? It is of utmost urgency that I deliver the ultimatum.
Oh, deliver the ultimatum. Oh, I'm sorry. Earlier I thought you said potato.
Why would I say potato?
Oh, no, I thought you were my wife.
Why would I say potato?
Well, as a menu suggestion, I ordered a baked potato, which sounds particularly delectable right now. The cook is at lunch, though, so it might take an hour. So.
Then you best eat fast. In 1 hour, the planet Earth will be utterly obliterated, unless its apex is summoned here and makes the Zygloom pledge of eternal obsequious compliance.
Yeah, come again?
Commence countdown. Zygloom has unequivocally now delivered the ultimatum by proxy. It is now Erdstar's obligation to relay.
Hold on. What if I don't accept an obligation?
Regrettably, the intermediary appears to be of limited intellectual efficacy. This does not bode well for mission success.
I'll have you know I'm a summa cum laude.
I grow uncertain that this planet is worthy of conquest, but we're here now, so what the heck. Failure will result in human extinction. Do any other elements of my previous statement require elucidation?
Why should we take you seriously? And who sent you the link to this chat room?
The answer to your first query is the vast armada of warships which currently occupy your troposphere. The second question was not an element of my previous statement. Zygloom demands immediate annexation of this planet, the operative word being immediate.
Excuse me, Cactorox, right? Cactorox. The term apex implies that you seek the highest point in some series or hierarchy. Could you please clarify its meaning within the context of your demand?
Hell, N-Star, you appear to possibly exceed your mate in astuteness.
You hear that, Howard?
Oh, yes, but I defer to your expertise in this particular field, my sweet. Conversing with loonies is much more your bag.
We seek only the absolute highest, supreme, top potentate on this planet, the one to which all others must bow.
So in colloquial terms, you're saying, take me to your leader.
Your translation is semi-precise. We demand you bring your leader to us.
No such leader exists.
He must. There is an apex on every planet. It is imperative that yours report here and make the pledge of this world, and everything on it will be utterly destroyed within the next 58 minutes.
I thought we had an hour.
Time is, time is ticking.
So say we summon this apex. What is the pledge you want him to make? Eternal obsequious compliance is impressive word construction. Could you expand upon the meaning?
Every man, woman, and child on Earth and their descendants must serve faithfully and unconditionally all whims of Zygloom Empire for the entirety of existence.
Wow. So in a word, slavery.
In 3 words, eternal, obsequious, and compliance.
You know, I think it's a friend of Robert doing performance arts. You know, it's not really to my taste, but most commendable commitment to the role.
Alley full of waiting! Obtain pledge now or release the Kraken. Our vessels are ready to fire. Commence rolling the ball.
Howard, look, there are 2 of them.
Oh, thanks for confirmation. I thought I was going to see double there for a second.
Clemency, Gartenbluck, Zygloom will respect terms of the ultimatum. Hold your fire until the hour has expired.
This planet will make big boom. If your pitiful apex does not make pledge in time, your Earth shall be immediately, thoroughly, and irredeemably insulated.
You mean annihilated, right?
Or perhaps eradicated.
Obliterated?
Ooh, exterminated.
Dellyfall!
Gartenbluck has excelled in many Earth languages, but hasn't quite mastered the English tongue.
English hard. There are stupid exceptions to every rule. But soon will be dead language from a planet-sized mask of smoking rubble. Armada cordon is complete. Hostages secured. Your world lies helpless at our feet, subject to our ruthless pity. All your military might has been neutralized.
Zygloom doom looms over you all. 56 minutes left to make your call. Countdown to destruction ticks apace. Your apex now must pledge to save his race.
I mean,
Bravo. I mean, oh my gosh. That was an incredible, impressive spiel. I mean, it was positively Shakespearean.
you know, as a former thespian myself, I admire the amount of work you put into developing your characters, but the costume accessories don't quite suit the thematic ensemble.
To ease acceptance by your apex on this mission, we adopted the disguise of human males, which is quite obviously the most dominant species on Earth.
Ooh, commendable choice from a motivational standpoint, but might be a little cliche. Ooh, thinking outside the box, have you considered making your alien characters asexual?
Zygloom are neither male nor female.
I knew it! I was getting a neuter vibe. Very good. Indicative of true acting talent. I think you will find this meeting fortuitous to your efforts to develop realistic alien character backgrounds that, pop. Because as a renowned leading expert on asexual propagation, I am the perfect man to help.
The only help required of you is summoning the Earth Apex.
Yes, I love your dedication to staying in character. And you there? Great mute emoting.
Howard, dear, I'm not sure this is really the time.
Oh, nonsense. This is the perfect time. I rarely get a chance to talk shop with non-scientists. Now, have you determined which reproductive methods that these so-called Zygloom creatures would use? Fission seems a bit, messy, and the gamogenesis too mundane. I think I would go with budding.
Valleyfall! Deviant, bilious, debaucherously wrought, degenerative inhumanity, patu!
I may have touched a nerve.
Gartenbluck considers budding not a topic for polite company.
I apologize for my husband. He may have had just one too many.
Oh, I assure you, no offense was intended. I am a great supporter of the arts. I'm sorry if I overstepped.
Honey, why don't you log off and go have a cup of coffee while I smooth things over?
Oh, well, very well, Jared. Bye, you two. I really enjoyed your act. Good luck with your project.
I must say, as the proxy charged with an urgent mission critical to your world's survival, your mate's behavior is distressingly cavalier. Aid him if you value your planet.
Well, he's having a hard time believing you're real. And well, frankly, so am I. If the situation is as you describe, you would simply have to give us more time.
There is no more time!
Geez, why not? What's the hurry?
Apex must take the pledge before this world is discovered by another entity.
What other entity?
An entity so horrible, dreadful, and gruesome that it would be infinitely better for your planet to perish rather than be found by them.
Oof, does this entity have a name?
The Foo-Fab.
Foo-Fab! 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 Where Foo-Fab? Zygloom, flee!
No, Foo-Fab, Gots and Luke. I'm merely explaining exigency of the mission.
Foo-Fab, patoop.
Zygloom shall save you from the Foo-Fab by granting a quick painless end. Or if your apex makes the pledge, you will live under our protection and blissful compliance.
Blissful, obsequious compliance.
Eternal blissful, obsequious compliance. Includes offspring for eternity.
And we have 56 minutes to decide.
54 minutes, 40 seconds.
Even if all that's true and we wanted to help, you've really come to the wrong people. Howard and I have absolutely no connections to anyone in power.
Oh, rooms of us?
Well, that's just who Howard called to order his potato.
Rob Erster.
Robert is my son. He works for NASA.
Pray he can help you. You must summon Apex here, and he must make the pledge. Should you fail, your world is forfeit. Time is ticking. I'll be back.
Such a task would take months, if not years. It's impossible. All right, Robert. You brat. You had your little joke. Now log back on and laugh at your mother. Very funny. Ha 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 ha. Very, very funny.
Mom, so glad you're still on. Where's Dad?
At a symposium in Chicago. Wonderful joke, son. By the way, ridiculously inane and yet somehow just almost believable. Your actor friends, they just sold it so well. Oh God, are we on a prank show?
What are you on about? Look, I don't have much time. NASA opened our public port just long enough for us to warn our families. Cell service is down. Only the internet is working.
Your emergency wasn't a drill?
No, it was real, Mom. Gloriously real. Spaceships bigger than life. Bigger even. Thousands and thousands congesting the sky all over the world.
Armada Cordon is complete.
But do not go out to look at them. I came to warn you, the ships are taking people, drawing them into the sky with some sort of beam.
Hostages are procured.
We don't know that they're hostages, but there's been no attempt at communication. We don't know what they want. Stay indoors and warn anyone you can.
Robert, are you being serious?
Deadly serious, Mom.
Then I know what they want. They were here.
At your house?
No, they were in the chat room. They just left. Cactarox and Gartzenbluk. Yeah, Gartzenbluk.
Mom, I told you it isn't a joke.
Tell me, is our military might utterly neutralized?
How do you know about that?
They told me. They also said if we don't agree to make everyone on Earth their slave within 52 minutes, they'll exterminate the lot of us.
52 minutes?
Well, they gave us 60, but we've wasted 8.
What reason would a race of such obvious technological advancement have to enslave or destroy mankind?
To save us from the foofab.
The foofab. I don't know if you're joking or lost your marbles, but seriously, warn Dad, warn Doris, and whatever you do not go outside.
Okay. The Zygloom are bad, but the foofab are worse. I saw how terrified they were. Please talk to Kakarot's and patch him through to someone in charge. I mean, he asked for you by name.
By name. Chet Mason. Our MCC Capcon's knack for dirty tricks earned him the nickname Jester. Probably would cost him his job if he weren't such a whiz with Comtech.
I don't believe it's a joke, son. They were just too convincing.
I can't see ETs hacking a chat room and knowing my name. But Jester Mason, yes. I gotta go now. I'll make Chet come back and apologize. Warn the others. Love you, Ma.
Rob, no. God, he didn't believe. Time is ticking. Oh.
Hello, dear. Oh, they left. Listen, dear, I'm sorry if I came off as rude. I'm better now. So what'd I miss? Helen? What did I miss?
Hello there. I'm Sandy Tigrini here in New York with a breaking world news report. Stories are coming in from every country of enormous objects hovering in the sky. Hundreds, thousands, maybe millions. No one knows. Scientists surmise these are actual alien spaceships. Yikes! We're being invaded. But do they come in peace? No one knows that either. At last report, there has been no attempt at contact, at least not as far as talking, that is. There has been numerous reports of innocent people being drawn up into ships on iridescent rays of light. Just moments ago, I myself witnessed New York's favorite sportscaster, Jake O'Doul, floating right up into the sky, kicking and screaming all the way. Beam me up, Scotty. Am I right? How's the weather up there? Hey, Jake, if you don't come back, can I have your parking place? But I kid. The situation is serious. Citizens are being advised not to go outside for any reason. Stay indoors with your curtains drawn. And please stay tuned to this station so we can keep you informed. Our news is more pleasant than the other guys, and we have exclusives. In fact, here's one now. We bring you live now to Central Park for an on-the-scene report by on-the-scene reporter Maxwell Stidwell.
Thank you, Sandy. This is on-the-scene reporter Maxwell Stidwell with an on-the-scene report on the scene in Central Park.
Maxwell, can you see any ships from where you are?
No, Sandy, there are no ships here on the scene. Wait, I think, yes, I do see one, but it's small. It's tiny. The size of a gnat or fly or a bird, oh, maybe a cow. Oh, wait, it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger very fast.
Can you get a shot of it?
No, I can't, Sandy. I'm a reporter. I'll ask the cameraman. Hey, where are you going? Come back here. The cameraman's running away. You coward.
What is the ship doing now?
Oh, God, it's big. It's big as a house, a skyscraper, a mountain. Actually, it's not that bad. Aesthetically, it's bright, it's clean, it's shiny. Wait a minute, it's opening. Oh, mother of God. What is that? Ah!
It appears we have lost our feed. Good report, Maxwell, as usual on the scene. We now return those of you in the rest of the country to your regularly scheduled program, but we will be back if there are further developments. Those of you in New York are in for a treat. A particularly poignant segment featuring pretty little kitties with hats.
Egad. Did you hear that, Helen? The alien invasion is real.
I know. Robert told me. But he didn't believe me about Cacturox. Time is ticking. We're doomed.
Well, you're feeling pretty sorry for yourself there, Helen. The woman I married would never give up so easy.
So easy. What can we do? On the one side, there's vast, relentless, invincible Zygloom empire armed with more technological might than we can even imagine. And then on the other side is us.
Well, us is all we need. I mean, in times like these, I consider the words of esteemed philosopher Machona Leweo, who said, in order to bring down the great, you have to be able to reach the stars. Well, we are the stars, Helen, you and I.
And Robbie.
And Robbie.
But what hope can we have to prevail?
We wield mankind's greatest weapon, science. If we can't outfight them, we'll outthink them. We are the smartest people we know.
And then some.
Now, in preparation of our tribulation, we must pre-organize our intellectual toolbox. Let's see, we have astronomical physics, linguistic psychology, molecular biology.
With an emphasis on genealogy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I mean, we appear to brandish an imposingly well-balanced arsenal, but it leans a tad heavy on hard science. You know, we could use a smidge more on the social side.
It's true.
Hello.
Cultural.
Anthropology.
Are you two okay?
Oh, yes, wonderful, now that you're here.
Have you heard from Robert? On the news, they said...
We know. Robert's fine, but listen. Catching you up will take a lot of exposition, and we really can't spare the time.
Ooh, tell her the ultimatum.
Okay. In 45 minutes, the Earth will be utterly obliterated unless our apex agrees to make the Zygloom pledge of eternal obsequious compliance.
Clear enough. Where do we start?
Well, we must amass data. When Cacturox returns to check our progress, which I surmise will happen soon, we subtly ply him for situational criteria, which we can later apply our science to in order to extrapolate an equation capable of producing a satisfactory solution.
I'm with you. Let's go. Mind if I take notes?
Oh.
Where on earth did Robert find you?
I told you. The Johnson NASA Visitor Center.
Oh.
How, Erdstar? Hell, Enstar? And who is she?
Hi, I'm Doris.
Door is... cannot be the apex. Where is rooms of us? You have 39 minutes. Oh, sorry, no. Time is ticking.
Yes, it is true that time is ticking, but some still remains. And as long as it does, we have hope. And my hope is we can take some of that ticking time and talk this over like rational beings.
Okay. Tell me about your father.
Subtly, Ellen, subtly ply.
The word father refers to the male progenitor of children. Zygloom are neither male nor female. That word only applies to... binary procreators.
Yes, in my professional opinion, the Zygloom method of procreation must have many advantages. I'm curious if the process of budding is painful or does one feel bliss?
I myself have not yet been blessed with that honor, but I understand it is something of both.
So if you were to bud, how would you feel about the child?
It would be me.
Yes, that is the joy of having a child, creating different versions of yourself.
No other versions. It would be me. I would be it, and it would be me.
Well, there's no need to be upset.
I'm not getting upset. I just feel impotent in my inability to impress upon you the importance of your apex presence.
Actorox is impotent.
I'm not impotent. Impatient to prepare the prompt compliance of your top potentates.
Wait, did you say potato? Just now?
I did not. I'm getting the distinct impression of an intention to impede here.
Or might we be awakening repressed feelings of inadequacy over your inability to bud?
I impugn that implication. Your impudence now impinges into insolence. To some Zygloom, even to say the word bud evokes an intense feeling of shame.
For some, but not for all?
It's no norm. I mean, some experience arousal. A few even seek out bud peep shows.
I know I said I was ready, but that's a bit much.
But the truly sick and depraved find titillation in media depictions of binary procreation.
Appears to be a universal taboo. Now tell me, when you yourself...
Clemency from intrusive interrogation! It is profitless to delay further. Summon your apex now. We must record his pledge.
Oh, I assure you, Cactorox, we are diligently striving to acquiesce to your demand. We just need a little more time.
The time is non-negotiable. Zygloom brooks no delay.
Speaking of time, what shows on my phone doesn't match the computer.
Magnetic flux bleed over from our ships in tropospheres, adversely impacting all timepieces on Earth not shielded by Zygloom technology. Most of your networks are down. We protect the internet specifically to facilitate your apex to make the pledge.
Without chronometers, how can we know how much time we have left?
I will tell you. 33 minutes to the big kibosh. I will return when half that time expires. If you have not summoned your apex to take the pledge by that time, Gotzenbluck shall whip his armada to frenzy, and the Zygloom hordes will howl madly, chomping at the bit for a taste of blood and fire, reined in only by the fact that I'll gift you one final last gasp visit. Just ere time expires. Pin then your salvation on the tiny shred of hope that you can summon and compel your apex to make the pledge. For if you fail, the planet Earth and everything on it will be destroyed, exterminated, obliterated, eradicated, immolated, and finally inoculated.
Inoculated?
Yes, with antibacteria to ensure every single shattered shred of cinder is never again capable of supporting life. Time is ticking.
They'd murder bacteria, too? They are certifiably pathological. Look, we must thwart their megalomaniacal diabolicality. I believe their method of propagation is key to their defeat, but hypothesis non fingo, I gleaned insufficient specifics to fully grasp the implications.
I too feel the inkling of a plausible hypothesis, but lack adequate empirical evidence to quite advance credible theory.
I got nothing. My field of study is humans, not hermaphroditic space beasts.
Look, we will be allowed only one more opportunity for analytical observation in time to avail of our learnings. In the meanwhile, I require some moments to pore over my notes.
I concur. A brief consultation with my theological tomes is in order.
Mom, Dad, Doris, you're all here.
Oh, great to see you, son. Doris will fill you in. Your mother and I must sequester for a spell in our respective...
I used to think that was a euphemism for sex, but they're 2,119.7 miles apart.
Frankly, I doubt that would stop them. But at the moment, they have bigger fish to fry. How much do you know?
I know I've missed you terribly all day. I know I wish I could hold you in my arms and tell you everything will be okay.
I wish that too.
I know those ships are terrifying and powerful and capable of inflicting upon us horrendous atrocities of an unimaginable magnitude, but we've seen no indication of hostile intent.
Wow. You really don't know anything, do you?
I knew all that.
You spoke to your mom. I assumed you were in the loop.
She seemed upset. I thought a buddy of mine had messed with her, but he denied it. She was babbling nonsense syllables like Gartzenbluk and Zygloom and Foofab.
I don't know Gartzenbluk, but I just met Zygloom Ambassador Cactarox, and he's the real deal. If we cannot meet their demand to negotiate a worldwide pledge of eternal, obsequious compliance to them in 32 minutes, every single one of those ships will open fire.
32 minutes.
More or less. Every timekeeping doodad on Earth is acting all wonky right now.
Oh, yeah. We think it's caused by magnetic flux bleed over by ships in the troposphere. Wait a minute. Did you say open fire? Analysis of ship heat signatures indicate the presence of immense batteries of weaponry capable of instantaneously burning entire cities to cinders. Those ships are so big and so numerous. If they simultaneously open fire...
Doomsday. And the only people in the world with any hope of stopping it is your father, your mother, and you.
What about you?
Oh, I'll help.
But what can we do?
Your mother and father are concocting a plan, and whatever it is, we need to be ready.
I'm ready for anything. Yow. Wasn't ready for that. What on earth is it?
Nothing on Earth. It's up in one of those ships.
Zounds. My first encounter with a creature from outer space. Introduce us.
I don't know this one. The one I met seemed nicer.
Bitch, leave.
Say what?
Doris, don't antagonize it.
Antagonize it? I swear if it says that word one more time.
Female subject retire to kitchen. Me speak with male.
Chauvinistic bastard.
Honey, sweetie, let's not start the apocalypse early. This might just be one of the opportunities you were saying I should be ready for. It might be beneficial for me to see what the ET has to say. Maybe this would be a good time to go start supper. Or maybe change out an engine block?
Dear me, I'm such a ditz. I'll just sashay off and let the men talk. Ask ye, bout ye, ere they annet play.
Come again?
Ask ye, bout Yea, ere they and it play.
Are you having a stroke?
She say, ask about their planet. Garts would look good at Pig Latin.
That was Pig Latin. Geez, Doris, where did you dig that up? Oh, right. You're an archaeologist.
Actually, I really do need to go feed my cat.
Will I be safe alone with that thing?
We're not in the same room, silly. It's cyberspace.
Oh, right. Wait, you have a cat?
Do you not like cats?
Sure I do. I just never had one.
You'll love Sebastian. He's a pretty little kitty, and sometimes he wears a hat.
Oh, aw, that's, you know, having a cat in the house would be kind of swell.
And it just might accustom you to the pitter-patter of little feet.
We never talked about that, did we?
Well, you do want children, don't you?
Of course. I'll need a son to carry on the family name.
What about a little girl?
Sure. Let's have one of each.
Hey, Ballyful, cease revolting dialogue of binary procreation.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it.
I think that's my cue to go. Love you.
Love you more. I think you better hang up.
No, you hang up.
I'm staying.
Oh, yeah.
Farewell, my sweet. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I... Oh, she's gone.
Rooms Ervas?
If you're looking for room service, buddy, you got the wrong number.
Rooms Ervas is name of Earth Apex. We need him to make pledge now.
And I don't know him. My name is Robert Starr.
Rob Earthstar from NASA?
Why, yes, I do work for NASA. Do I know you? Wait. Mom said you asked for me. You must be Gartzenbluk.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. Now, connect me to NASA mainframe. Zygloom would salvage Earth's technology before enacting the big kaput.
Yeah, I'm certain we've developed no gizmos you don't already possess. I mean, your vessels are amazing, a veritable paradigm shift in mechanical marvels. You've demonstrated feats of engineering wizardry which supersede more advanced innovation than we even dreamed possible. Your cloaking technology it's the bomb. You bypassed our surveillance and infested the ionosphere before we even knew you were coming. Only the magnetic flux bleed over into the troposphere tipped us off you were here.
Connect me to NASA mainframe.
Oh, and don't get me started on their astounding maneuverability. They can hover, accelerate, turn, bank, and stop in ways that defy the laws of physics. And I don't know those laws. I'm a physicist. I can't enforce them, but I know them.
Connect me to NASA mainframe.
Wooey, what kind of mileage do you get with those things? You flew all the way here from what? Rigel, Sirius, Procyon, Archinar? Am I hot or cold? Anyway, I bet there's a long stretch between gas stations. How do you not run out of fuel?
Beryllium.
You burn beryllium. That's odd. But how do you...
Belly full! Connect me to NASA mainframe!
I can't. Even if I wanted to. Security protocol. All civilian links sever automatically before I can be patched. And they control it, not me.
Physical coordinates?
What? Mine? Oh, no. You can't come here.
Physical coordinates. I demand obsequious compliance.
I'm unclear on the ground rules, but I don't think that applies until our apex takes the pledge.
Curse your ilk's obstinate antipathy!
Hey, I'm right, aren't I? Until that pledge is made, I don't have to do a thing you say. You're all bluff and bluster. Na 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 na.
Robert! Stop teasing the alien.
But Dad, he started it.
Apologize to Garzenbluk.
Sorry, Garter Boob.
No.
Bellyfold!
You know, I love you, son, but you need to learn not to antagonize evil overlords.
It can't do anything until the pledge is made.
Except touch a button that will blow the earth to smithereens.
Oh yeah, that.
Where's Doris?
Eating her cat. Jeez, a cat. Things sure will be so different once I'm married.
Oh, yes, they will, son. Oh, but you got a good catch there. Oh, with the right woman, it's just wonderful. Oh, right. First, we need to save the world. Hang on.
Bobby, oh, I missed you so much.
Yeah, apologies for not believing you earlier, Mom, but I'm fully on board now.
All right, let's just postulate our hypothesis. Now, Robbie just discovered that they cannot compel obedience until our apex makes the pledge.
Yet they seem convinced they'll be able to immediately do that after he does. I also discovered that their spaceships run on beryllium.
Beryllium. Drat, we never seem to have chemistry in the toolbox when we need it.
Oh, and they speak Pig Latin.
Their linguistic capabilities are incredibly remarkable.
Oh, no. NASA's getting ready to patch me back in. I'm being cut off. I'll report this to my superiors and return as soon as I can. Ready for anything.
Love you, son.
You know, a larger sample size would be preferable, but we have only one more opportunity to get a test subject observation before things go down to the wire. And the gamut of our array from apex to Zygloom is too inclusive. Now we need to narrow the scope.
Cacturox's separation anxiety regarding potential offspring implies he feels that they would share the same mind. That assumption is refuted by the individual Zygloom's heterogeneous proclivities regarding propagation. Some are incredibly prudish, and others are sicko perverts.
Oh, well said. Now, asexual reproduction limits the reach of their natural selection. I mean, personalities aside, they consider themselves parts of a single cooperative entity. I conjecture that they follow a strict unconditional chain of command that may be a flaw we can exploit.
And now we have our fulcrum. So when Cacturox returns, we must locate the lever and force.
Hello, this is Sandy Tigrini here in New York, back with another world news report. There have been no new major developments since our last report, but with a worldwide alien invasion in the works and everyone stuck inside, glued to their sets, it wouldn't seem right not to attempt a ratings grab. Am I right? To recap our last story, alien spacecraft are congesting every sky on the globe, yet have still not contacted any authorities to let us know what they want. Or have they? Could the government be covering it up? UFO conspiracists say yes. Just because there are zillions of UFOs hovering in plain view for all to see is no reason for the government to continue to deny they exist. It has been reported, however, that UFO conspiracists themselves are becoming an endangered species. Most of them have gone out to gawk at the ship and been drawn on up inside. Too close of an encounter for me, am I right? Bum, 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 bum. Oh, wait. We do have breaking world news. I was just informed that we have a live feed from inside one of the UFOs by our very own breaking world news report on-the-scene reporter, Maxwell Stidwell.
Hello, Sandy. This is On the Scene reporter, Maxwell Stidwell, on the scene inside an alien vessel, because Maxwell Stidwell is always on the scene.
How are they treating you?
Not well, Sandy. They marshaled me into a tiny cell, even smaller than my trailer. No doors, no windows, no one to do my hair or makeup. I must look an awful fright.
You look fine, Maxwell.
Thank you, Sandy. I have not seen any fellow prisoners. Often I hear the buzzing sound I associate with the beam which captured me, followed by lots of yelling and screaming, and sometimes running and punching. But mostly, I just cower here in my cell where it appears their plan is to slowly starve me to death.
You've only been on the scene half hour, Max.
But down there, my trailer's always stocked with goobers and jujubes. Here, the only nosh provided is something I can only describe as goop, the taste of which is, actually not that bad.
Have you seen the aliens? Can you describe them?
Yes, I have, Sandy. From the waist up, they kind of resemble men, but not men, if you know what I mean. But from the waist down, well, they sort of kind of look like... Get me out of here. Help me. I can't take it. Please, Mama. Please. Please.
We appear to have lost our feet again, but that was Maxwell Stidwell on the scene, always the consummate professional. Your regular program will now resume, but those here in New York should stay tuned for a story that's a bit risque. An A-list celebrity was seen canoodling with a B-lister. What? Shocking!
Oh, drat. I wanted to see which celebrity,
No.
were.
Helen, focus.
Oh, yeah. All right. In continuation of our cognitive collaboration, I wish to propose the premise that, given the time constraint, and the fact that if we're wrong, we'll be dead, we promote your hypothesis directly to theory and begin working on the corollary suppositions.
I concur. And it's our theory, Helen, not mine. We're a team.
Oh, gosh, I love you.
I love you too.
Let me know when you're done sequestering.
Good to see you back, Doris. You took so long to feed your cat, I was afraid you'd gone outside after it.
Not a chance. Poor thing was cowering under the bed. Where's Robert?
Conscripted back to work, but he said he'd be back when he could.
Did you witness him converse with the other alien?
For a while. That was one rude-ass alien.
Must have been Gartzenbluck.
Well, yes, but did you make any evaluative observations which might aid in our analysis?
I observed. It was one rude-ass alien. And if it ever speaks to me like that again, I'll lay a metaphorical smack upside its head.
Oh, bravo, Doris. Spunk like that will help us carry this day.
Dang, half the time. Ooh, gone already? This clock thing is messed up.
The proxies have failed. Commence whipping the armada to frenzy and inciting the Zygloom hordes to howl madly and chomp at the bit for the taste of blood and fire.
I literally had not taken that previous statement literally.
Must you continue to squander your precious ticking time? Is your apex merely waiting to make a dramatic entrance? Or do I exit and return when the big boom has you teetering on the brink of ruination? The Zygloom hordes would prefer not to chomp at the bit all 17 minutes.
You know, without our timepieces to confirm, how can we be sure that the time you tell us is the truth?
Why do you earthings persist in equivocating in ridiculous twaddle?
Which element of my previous question requires elucidation?
You define the word truth as a statement which is not a lie. Yet lie is merely a statement, not truth. Both concepts cancel, leaving nothing but pure paradoxical inanity.
Huh. Most enlightening. Howard, before I shout Eureka, would you run a clinical trial?
Certainly. Cactarox, I state as fact, we will summon our apex as soon as you tell us there are 2 minutes remaining. You need merely speak those words. Now do it.
You have 16 and 1/2 minutes remaining.
Cactarox, we have no way of knowing the correct time. Just tell us we have 2 minutes remaining and you get what you want. It does not matter, it's a lie.
Clemency from blathering prattle in meaningless terms.
Well, kudos, Helen. Lever achieved. Now we just need the force to apply it.
As you are determined to defer until you are knocking on desolation's door, my presence here is superfluous. I shall return when the time marks 2 minutes.
Wait. I would just like one more tiny clarification before you go, if you don't mind.
In the interest of efficacious diplomacy, I shall indulge further inquiry. Take care you adhere to tangible terms. The next ludicrous non sequitur uttered will be my exit cue.
Tell us about the foo fab.
That is not a word best spoke aloud.
You said they are horrible?
Oh, 'tis fact. Those vile abominations are the most atrocious, contentious, and rapacious monsters in the galaxy. Should they find you before your apex pledges you under our protection, it would be infinitely better for you to die.
What horrible, despicable atrocities would they commit upon us?
Oh, none at all.
Oh.
But we can't take that risk. They make you a better offer.
But what if we opted to take that risk?
That option is not on the table. Submit or die.
How can you be so pitiless?
Really, Ambassador, can you not for an instant see things from our point of view?
That is my exit cue. Despite my warning, you vex me with self-contradictory gobbledygook. When I return, your apex will have a scant 2 minutes to make the pledge.
I must say, Mr. and Mrs. Starr, it is exhilarating to watch you work. You demonstrate such deft mastery of subtle nuance to nonchalantly draw your prey into the trap.
You have no idea what extrapolations we have performed, have you, Doris?
Not a clue. But I am good at reading people, and the two of you are practically pulsating with excitement over the potential of what you learned.
Oh, quite right. I believe we now possess the fulcrum, the lever, and the force.
I concur. However, I will require time to consult my master references to aid me in the determination of the proper application.
Oh, so true, my dearest. A brief period of research and ruminations in the confines of our respective studies is indeed in order. Sweet Doris, would you mind waiting here for Robert until we return?
And please, endeavor to persuade him to be present at the critical juncture. I have a hunch he'll be essential to the execution of our strategy.
Well, I'll wait here, all right. There's even a hint of a chance my Robert will log on. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Not that wild horses would have any reason to try it. A curious expression. My beacon app still functions, but alas, there's no time or link to avail even one iota of hope. Oh, it's you. Shouldn't sneak up on people like that. Shouldn't you be howling madly or chomping at the bit or somewhere? You here to spy on us? Take a good look. You know, Gartzenbluck, I think we got off on the wrong foot. You can't be that nasty at heart. Maybe you're misunderstood or had a traumatic childhood? Can we maybe bury the hatchet? What do you say?
Gartzenbluck fluent in all planet idiom.
Oh. Hey, do you know the one about wild horses? Do they really drag people away?
Soon all wild horses will be cinders.
I hadn't thought of that. If you blow up the world, it's not only people that will die.
Big Boom will make everything cinder.
Do you even care a whit about the beauty you'll destroy? Giant sequoias that have stood 3,000 years, dolphins, elephants, polar bears, birds.
Cinders, cinders, cinders.
Pretty little kitties in hats?
Oh. Pretty little cinders in hats.
Now I know where I'd like to bury the hatchet.
Doris. Oh, it's you, garter boob. You trying to hit on my girlfriend? Shove off. Shouldn't you be readying your warship for battle or something?
Armada whip to be optimal level of sustained frenzy. Had time to spare.
Yeah, so why are you here?
Respond to nyeh, 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 nyeh. Gartzenbluck also fluent in schoolyard taunt.
What? That's stupid.
I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah, well, I'm rubber and it's glue. Jeez, that alien burns me up.
I was gonna burn us all up to cinders.
Their engineering acumen far exceeds our ken, yet their mentality is so infantile. The dunderhead dodo birds actually intend to toast our planet for not blinking first in a gigantic game of galactic chicken.
The tragedy is that this wide, wonderful world, teeming with diversified life forms and magnificent splendor, shall perish so needlessly, all alone and unmourned. It makes me mad enough to scream and sad enough to cry.
Sweet Doris, your compassion is so endearing. I think you'd lament the death of God's lowliest creature with nary a thought of your own. I confess to not being so charitable. The only thing in all creation I cannot bear the thought of losing is you.
Bet you say that to all the girls.
When I think I may never again be able to kiss you again, to touch you, or bask in another moment in the warmth of your presence, that's what makes me want to weep.
Aren't we a pair? A pair of sobby cinders. But if you think I'd lament Gartzenbluck for a nanosecond, you're a half-wit.
If my father were here, he'd say, "Buck up. It's always darkest before the dawn." The sentiment is more encouraging than factual. It depends on which of the 3 stages of dawn you're talking about. And then you have to factor in moon phase and sometimes zodiacal lights.
Robert, don't talk for a moment. Just sit with me, okay? Do you think your parents can really figure a way to stop the aliens?
I do.
Then I do too. Oops, I think we just said our wedding vows.
I'd say them over and over with you every day for the rest of our lives. Although that might only be a matter of minutes. What do you think of my mom and dad?
Oh, they're great. Even more wonderful than you said they were. More than I even dreamed possible. And you're right. If anyone can save the world, it's them.
So when do I get to meet yours? I talk about mine all the time, and you've never mentioned yours. If you're embarrassed by them, don't worry. I think I can.
No. They're great, but we're estranged.
My family wrote the book on Strange. Literally. They wrote 2.
Not strange, silly. Estranged. Your mother would know the definition better than I, but it means we grew apart. They live far away, and I never see them.
Jeez. I can't imagine growing apart from my family. Do they write?
Listen, I loved my parents very much, and they were great. But a time came when I had to make a choice between staying with them or seeing the world. I chose the world. Hardest decision I ever made, but also the best, because it brought me to you.
God, I wish I could hug you right now, but anything else I can do for you, milady? Anything in my power, just ask. It's yours.
Anything?
Anything in my power.
Absolutely anything.
Nothing off the table.
Even that thing that Meatloaf won't do?
Even that. But you've got to tell me what it is, because I don't know.
I don't think anybody does. But seriously, Robert, if we somehow live past this deadline thing, there may be something I ask of you later.
Name it.
No, I would be asking a lot for something kind of silly, and it'll probably never come up.
If in my power, it's yours.
Robert, my boy, good to see you. Thank you, Doris, for holding down the fort. Robert, see what you can do to prevent being called away. I want to wait for your mother's concurrence, but I believe your participation will be of vital importance when Cactarox returns.
They would not believe me, but I took steps to keep me here. When is he expected?
No, it's not a he, it's an it. As for time, we can't be sure with the clocks all catawampus, but we're cutting it close to the wire. Oh, I wish I'd given us 3 minutes instead of 2, but that would have given us less chance to prepare and...
Easy, Dad. You seem keyed up. Relax and tell me the plan.
Oh, sorry, son. I'd just feel more comfortable if your mother were here. Her presence, pacifies my chakras,
Well, while we wait, you should know the alien force is even bigger than before. Once we knew about the beryllium, we were able to extrapolate the magnetic flux overbleed into our scanner equations and can now detect cloaked ships. There's a second wave of ships coming in, and it's twice the size of the first. They have enough firepower to blast our cinders to cinders 100 times over. They must want to do it 300.
Likely cargo ships to pick up slaves and plunder. Look, son, you need to make sure you are here when Cactarox comes back.
You said that already, Dad.
Hey guys, Sebastian is yowling and I need to check on him. BRB.
The only officer on the whole command I could convince was Capcom Mason. He disabled my base link so they can't cut me off unless I signal him. Did it without orders, too. If caught, we'll both be court-martialed. But I knew you need me here. I knew it.
Good, Robbie. Very good. Normally we don't condone breaking the law, but saving the world is a wee bit more important right now.
Dad, are you sure you should be drinking right now?
Well, I mean, just an old nip of the hair of the dog to settle my nerves. Don't tell your mom, and no harm done. Besides, my role in this endeavor is already done. I concoct the plan, you just have to do it.
I don't know what the plan is. You haven't told me.
I will. I will. Just wait till your mother gets home. Usually that's what she says about me.
Sorry I took so long, but Hobbs can be pretty wordy. Has your father outlined our strategy?
Not yet, Mom. He's drinking.
Tattletale?
Howard! Stop drinking immediately and sober up, toot sweet. Why haven't you told him the plan?
Because we usually do it together, and I love to hear you say, I concur.
Oh, well, in this case, I believe we already agree on the basic theory, and both corollary suppositions are about as close to verified as can be. From what I ascertained, there is one and only one possible solution. If your father's calculations checked out, there is a 99.9% probability that our plans coincide.
99.97% actually. And now that your mother is here, we may proceed. Okay, first, we established a three-part analogy of a lever, a fulcrum, and a force. You know how Archimedes once said, give me a lever long enough, and I
Sweetheart, everybody knows what Archimedes said. Now, skip the part, move it along.
Okay then, back to the analogy. Is it a metaphor?
It's three metaphors within an analogy. The one thing it isn't is an allegory.
Or a simile.
Good point. Go on.
Well, okay, the lever you probably know about because we learned that one first. Wait, we may have called that one the fulcrum.
Oh my God. Howard, for sake of brevity, let's dispense with that analogy completely.
Okay.
It was cute, it was fun, but it really adds nothing of substance, and the time is ticking, as they say.
Quite right, dear, quite right. So we extrapolated three important characteristics about the Zygloom. One, they have a completely rigid, unconditional chain of command.
You might say eternal, obsequious compliance.
And the Zygloom do say that ad infinitum. It is fundamental to their genome. Now, the second is they cannot dissemble. The idea of one member of the hive deceiving another is a concept they never conceived. They can't lie. Isn't that fantastic?
Except it means they're not bluffing about blowing us up.
True, it would have been better for us to have discovered they were bluffers, but science is not about finding what you want. It's about finding what is.
You know, Dad, it's great you like to demonstrate your proofs and all, but you don't need to show your work. As interesting as your projections and permutations are, we only need to know the actual plan, like now, before they arrive. Because if you don't tell me the plan in time, we're all going to die. I didn't find Doris just to lose her now. All I learned from the alien I met is that it is ruthlessly cruel without the tiniest nanogram of empathy.
That's our boy, Mama. Cuts right to it. All our calculating and postulating, he instinctively knows the answer.
I don't have any answer.
But you do. Their total lack of empathy is the very thing we need to defeat them.
Yes, the fulcrum for our lever, or maybe the other way around.
Their ruthlessness is the result of total inability to even imagine any point of view that is not their own. Ergo, they take as fact every race they meet thinks exactly like them.
No, ergo, they take as fact that every race they meet follows a strict unconditional chain of command.
Ergo, they take as fact that every race they meet cannot lie. They cannot conceive the possibility.
Yeah. Ergo sum, we were going about it all wrong. We don't need to locate and summon our apex. We just make one.
Come again?
Theatrics, my boy, theatrics! Did I ever tell you I played Henry V?
In high school. I know. You've told me exactly 37 times.
Robert, we need you to play the apex. It's the only way.
But Garter Boob will recognize me.
What did you call it?
Sorry, Mom. I know its name is Gartzenbluk.
Just because it's an evil overlord preparing to raise the planet is no reason to call it names.
Sticks and stones. We're better than that. I got it.
Other than the first time, Cacturox has only shown up alone. We can only hope they continue that pattern.
Well, how about if Gartzenbluk crashes the party, we just tell it you're Rob Ertstar's identical twin brother. Did I tell you I once performed in The Comedy of Errors?
You'll just have to improvise, son. Improvise like the wind.
Yeah, and remember, your character's name is Rooms Irvis.
But son, the most important thing to remember, the keystone to our plan.
Yes, the critical, diabolically clever element which draws the line between triumphant success and utter failure.
You need to make sure to say at least...
You have 2 minutes remaining.
Excuse me, Ambassador Cacturox, we're not quite ready yet. Could you make that entrance again?
Your Honor, may we have a moment with our client?
Cease with the dwaddle pap. There is no such thing as a client. There is the apex, betas, gammas, and obsequious compliant drones. And you, are you finally he?
Yes, I am finally the great and terrible Earth Apex. Rooms, Irvas.
It is our bliss to finally meet you.
Actually, may I just say one thing, oh venerable Ambassador Cactarox?
You may not, how, Star. Any gratitude Zygloom might have felt at you for having summoned the Apex was negated by your tactics of delay and insolence, which would be noted at our time of your collection. You may go.
Oh, well, what if I won't? Until the pledge is made, you can't make me do anything.
Except go away. Ha!
Oh.
How did you do that?
Cactarox is now the chat room leader. It is truly a shame that Earth drones are neither as obsequious nor compliant as Zygloom demands. But Zygloom shall remedy.
Hey, Apex rooms, remember that time we took that vacation and we had...
Hell and star! Your servitude in conscripted capacity has been adequate, especially considering your inferior status as a female. The collectors would be pleased. You may go. And now you, room, Irvas, you need the title disclaimer, great and terrible. In what way are you terrible? Does that mean you are bad at your job?
No, it means intimidating.
Oh.
Sometimes I do this thing where I project a giant head on a screen that emits blasts of fire, to keep my subjects in awe.
Yes, subjects don't need to be in awe, merely obsequious and compliant.
Zygloom do repeat those words a lot, don't they? But, maybe we should dispense with the small talk and get to the pledge. I don't want the clock running out.
Indeed, time is ticking. Please look at your monitor and read the words aloud.
Right here. Oh, okay. I see them.
Sorry that took so long. Oh.
Door east. Apex Rooms, Servas, is in the process of making the pledge. Your presence is an intrusion. You may go.
What? No, wait. I want her here.
She is female and irrelevant.
Nevertheless, I demand it as my final official act before ceding the planet to Zygloom. I insist unequivocally that she stay. If Doris goes, I refuse to make the pledge. The great and terrific Rumzervas has spoken.
If you don't make the pledge, all will be cinder.
No, don't, please.
Time is ticking.
Time is ticking.
Allow, but infernal impudence of Rooms Savas shall be noted at time of collection. Read pledge now.
By the power vested in me, Earth Apex, Rooms Irvas.
Hey, Guards in Blue! Good to see you!
Cease impromptu exclamations. Apex will start pledge again. Is that a problem, Rooms Irvas?
I'm genuflecting this momentous occasion. This is an emotional time for me. I'm sort of choked up.
Time is ticking a countdown to Big Boom in the final stage.
Room's Ervas looks familiar.
Oh, yoo-hoo, Garson Bluke. Like what you see? Bad thing. Hot binary procreators are awaiting your fantasy's pleasure. Calm now.
Door? Yes! Your ridiculous antics are enough to kill 3 camels. You must go.
No, wait. I'm ready. By the power vested in me, Earth, Apex, Roomservas, being of sound mind and body, do hereby forthwith and without further ado cede full control of the planet Earth and all it contains, be it animal, vegetable, mineral, or ectoplasmic. I furthermore hereby bind this pledge in situ proxy every human being on Earth and all future progeny of such without exception until the end of time to immediate, eternal, obsequious compliance. This pledge I do make of my own free will, that no Zygloom warships shall blast my planet asunder. For Zygloom is the power and the glory, that we may live in the house of their apex forever. Amen. Pinky swear. Pinky swear.
So noted. Earth's Apex's pledge duly recorded. Please emit copies to all ships to facilitate domination, plus transmit 5D triplicate copy to the Galactic Conquest Conflict Enforcement Bureau. Oh, and mark Operation Earthbind complete. One more thing. Cancel Big Boom. I repeat, cancel Big Boom. All ships stand down. This Zygloom planet, now it is a Zygloom planet, we shall not blast asunder. Whew. That was close. You had 2 seconds.
So what happens now?
Rooms Ervas, you are no longer Apex. You maintain nominal beta status among your own kind during the transition, despite your impetuous impertinence regarding presence of subject Door. You have my gratitude for allowing us to wrest total planetary dominance from the grasp of your wretched hands. In way of thanks, Zygloom awards you this nice parting gift. We will leave this chat room open so that you may say your goodbyes while awaiting collection. Cactarox out.
Is that it? Did you save the planet?
I'm not sure. It didn't blow up, but somehow I don't feel we're out of the woods.
Where are your parents?
Cactarox booted them from the chat. I hope he didn't block them. They didn't finish explaining the plan, and I'm afraid I missed something.
I thought you did swell.
You didn't do too bad yourself.
What can I say? You'll always be Apex in my book.
Robert, what happened? We didn't blow up. Did the ruse work?
Appears to have, but it doesn't feel right. I think I messed up somewhere.
Oh, tell me, son, and this is important. When you made the pledge, did you get every word right? Did you miss a word, paraphrase, or maybe miss a glottal stop?
No, Mom. I read the text verbatim. Every syntax, every syllable, every subtle nuance of pronunciation, just the way you taught me.
Oh, dear.
What's the matter, Mom?
You see, that was the part of the plan we never got to explain. You had to say it wrong. Throw in an extra word, leave one out, add a lisp or a stutter or something.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Robert, darling, it wasn't your fault.
No, it was mine. We took so long explaining the stratagem that we were unable to finish. Your father and I overindulged our penchant for dramatic reveals.
The big boom fizzled! Ergo, the plan has worked! Cheers to a successful quest. We have slain the dragon and saved the maiden. No, we've slain the dragon and slain the... We've done the right thing. Arguably, though, we've only bought enough time. But that is the chalkboard on which we can build the equation to conclude the final argument.
I regret to inform you, Howard, dear, but we experienced a system failure level snafu times 10.
What happened? Robbie did the pledge, didn't he? Well, he must have, or we'd be big boom cinder now. Stopping the clock, smashing success.
Yeah, but he said it correctly.
Correct. What do you mean correctly? No, he skipped a word or performed a paraphrase. Or, ooh, you know what I thought of? You say the whole thing and then shout, not at the end.
Sorry to say, I read it in perfect verbatim.
But, no. Robbie, that wasn't the scheme we concocted.
We never told him the scheme, remember? We were interrupted by Cactarox. We took so long with the proof, we never got to the result.
Oh, stupid Howard. Oh, all that babbling about levers and fulcrums and Archimedes. Oh, gads. Oh, man. Curse the day. Oh.
I don't see what it would have accomplished anyway. The recording they got won't do a thing for them either way.
Yes, but when they come back demanding answers, we would have innocently pointed out the flaws and agreed to fix it. Unable to detect a seed, they would allow us to try again and again to buy the time we need. But when they come back now, we have no answer.
I'm sure even they have a limit of how many times they buy that.
In the given scenario, time was our most precious resource, our lowest common denominator. Without time, we were dead. Once we had that, we could refocus our effort to organizing worldwide subterfuge, or foment rebellion, or organize resistance. Give our brave fighting men and generals time to mount a counterattack.
Those are all pipe dreams, Dad. I've seen scans of their vessels. We can't fight them. They're emitting the suppression fields that have pinned down and rendered useless every military piece of ordnance in the world. We never stood a chance.
Well, excuse me for trying, Mr. Downey Smarty Pants.
Howard, apologize to your son.
Sincerely, sorry, Robert, just voicing deep frustration. Sorry, son, I truly am.
It's okay, Dad. I understand. I'm sorry too.
In times like these, I mark the immortal bard in what King Henry said at Agincourt. If we are marked to die, we are now to do our country loss. And if to live...
Howard, take a bow. I find myself inspired in the words of my loving husband, Howard Starr, who once told me the woman I married would never give up easy. Now that was good advice. It was good advice then, and it is now. We're going back to the drawing board.
Do you want privacy?
No, just let me conjugate here for a minute. I feel a tiny inkling of inspiration tickling my brain.
Robert?
Yes, love.
Remember when I said I might ask you to do something kind of silly?
Name it, and it's yours.
I told you it's not going to be easy.
Anything in my power.
I'm just thinking, very soon the whole world may well be reduced to smoking rubble.
Try not to think about it.
No, it's okay. I just think there'll be no sign left that we ever existed. It's a sentimental whim, but I think I'd like to send a text into space saying how much I loved you. A message that someday someone out there might, I don't know, intercept and listen to. Is that stupid?
No, I think it's sweet, but cell service is down.
I have a text to Wi-Fi app.
We're in luck. I happen to know that Jester Mason is capable of patching that link directly to a two-way tight beam laser signal using any frequency or heading of your choice.
Do you remember my birthday?
Of course.
Use those numbers for the frequency. Month, then day. And you know the constellation Seven Sisters?
The Pleiades.
Aim it there, at the one star you can't see with the naked eye.
Merope.
Said she had to turn her face away in shame because she was the only goddess who stooped to marry a mortal. I want to tell her it's okay, because I was a mortal, engaged to a god.
I think you're confused over which of us is divinity.
Don't ruin my moment. You can tell every other star in the heavens whatever you want. This is between me and Merope. Do that for me, please, Robert. And hurry back to me.
Will you be okay here?
I'll be fine until you return, and it would make me feel better about whatever's coming.
Your every wish is my command. Back in a jiff.
You just wanted him out of the way, didn't you?
I think the Zygloom are going to be back soon, spitting mad at Robert. There's not much he can do to help. He's also wrecked with guilt about the plan going awry, even though that wasn't his fault. He'll cope better if he's kept busy with a difficult task rather than sitting here dwelling on it. Idle hands are the devil's playground.
You know, as a microbiological biologist, I used to think that parable, is it a parable?
No, it's an adage, hon.
Adage, yes, thanks, love. I used to think that adage was about bacteria. You know, I imagined idle hands were a swarm with teensy-weensy devils using them as playgrounds, you know. I thought it meant you're supposed to wash your hands.
Howard, would you be a dear and log off for a moment and let the ladies talk?
Your wish is my command, my sweet. Toodaloo, I love you.
I love you too, honey.
Is he gonna be okay?
Are any of us?
Good point.
Howie will be fine. His mind works so fast, sometimes he drinks a bit to slow it down. He metabolizes it quickly, but he'd be worthless to us right now.
You think they're coming back soon too, don't you? And you have a plan?
Yes, I do. I doubt it'll work, but I mean, it's worth a try. I may need your help.
I'm with you, Mrs. Starr.
Call me Helen.
Well, is room service?
Why, Ambassador, whatever might be the problem.
The planet's subjects are neither obsequious nor compliant.
None of the populace is obeying the pledge. None. Something here is very wrong.
Heads will roll. Feet will stomp.
What is wrong with the Apex Pledge?
Oh, that. Well, as a matter of fact, Room Urvas wasn't really the apex.
He must have been. He told me so. That's fact.
Perhaps he thought he was. Perhaps he and all of his simpering sycophants were unaware of the presence of a higher Earth apex which overrode and nullified his pledge.
Rooms Urvas was apex male. Human males are the dominant species on Earth.
You see, I think that's where you made a slight miscalculation, Cactarox. While it's very true, men rule the world, and nobody disputes that, right? What even they don't know, however, is that women rule the men.
No.
Who
What?
then is Earth's true apex?
You're looking at her.
It appears we underestimated the female species. A mistake we shall not repeat. Zygloom now delivers its final ultimatum. This time you will not have 1 hour. You will have 1 minute. If you fail to complete the pledge in that time, we shall sit here in our ships and watch you both burn to cinders.
Armada still whipped to battle frenzy, hungry for blood and fire.
If you misspeak one word or fail to enunciate correctly at any point, we watch you burn to cinders. Immediately after you make the pledge, it will be tested. If the subject does not immediately show obsequious compliance.
Cinder! 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 Countdown commenced!
Helen, do you know what my middle name is?
Don't try to pass code. I'm fluent in all Earth languages and idiom.
My middle name is Gia. X-I-A.
I know that one. It means glow of the morning sun in Mandarin Chinese. Big deal.
Doris Ex Machina.
Deus ex machina.
Deus ex machina. Oh.
Deus Ex Machina. A narrative plot device wherein a completely unexpected power or event appears suddenly at the very last moment to snatch a victory from the jaws of impending sure defeat. Well, it is often considered hackneyed and contrived, but with the proper foreshadowing and integration, it can prove very effective. Tag, Doris. You're it.
I overheard Robert tell his father that their sensors detected signs of an even bigger second wave of Zygloom ships coming in to join these ones. But that didn't make sense. Zygloom already has more firepower here than it could possibly need. So I thought either the sensors are wrong or they're not Zygloom ships. They're Fufab.
Fufab! Fufab! No!
Impossible!
And thanks to the nifty new link patched to my phone from Robert's NASA connection, I'm in direct connection with their battle commander.
We have a binding legal pledge made by Earth Apex.
You got squat.
Even as we speak, every single one of your ugly-ass Zygloom ships has two bigger Fufab ships locked and loaded, aimed right up their keisters. So here's their ultimatum. You have 2 minutes to beam every single hostage you took safely back to Earth, then tuck your tentacles between your other nether appendages and get the hell out of Dodge. Failure to meet any of those deadlines or come anywhere near this solar system again this millennium, and the sky will be raining Zygloom cinders. I bet if my future father-in-law, Howard Starr, was here, he'd quote Shakespeare's Henry V at Harfleur. Will you yield and thus avoid, or guilty in defiance be thus destroyed? But Helen and I will opt to quote Dirty Harry. You gotta ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
Well, do you, punk?
Don't forget to take a left turn at Aldebaran.
I have to say, Doris, if that was the bluff, it was the biggest humdinger in the history of bluffs.
Their own sensors showed them it wasn't a bluff. The Fufab ships uncloaked right on cue.
I knew any woman able to win my son wouldn't be confused with astronomy and astrology. You were testing us. Could you have stopped it at any time?
Lord, no. I was as helpless and terrified as anyone. I triggered a distress beacon as soon as I knew, but I never believed the fleet could possibly be close enough to arrive in time.
They didn't just stumble into this chat room, did they?
They must have intercepted my last report transmission and extracted this link in Robert's name. I'm so sorry I got your family involved, but happy too. No one else could have stopped the countdown while cleverly milking the clock down to allow us the win in overtime.
Who are you?
I'm a cultural anthropologist writing a doctorate thesis on the extinction of indigenous cultures.
With an emphasis on prevention, huh? Are you human?
Close enough. The Fufab are very like-minded binary procreators. I took this assignment as a small child and it was modified at the genome level. It's permanent and thorough. And if you're wondering if I really do love him, I do. With all my heart.
I see that in your eyes when you look at each other. It reminds me of Howie and me.
Humanity is being assessed for possible future inclusion in the Galactic Collective. When it's ready, it'll be asked to join. What happened in your lifetime, probably not even in Robert's or mine, but possibly in that of your grandchildren. We may not be able to surpass your pinnacle of human evolution, but we're going to try. And I just know they will love their Nana and Pop Pop. Can I ask you not to tell him, Helen?
Please, call me Mom.
Doris, Mom, you won't believe it. They're leaving. Somehow, the damping fields pinning down our military apparently failed. As soon as we started mobilizing our army and air force, the ships just turned and fled. It was incredible. The first wave beat cheeks at speeds I can't even contemplate, with the second wave hot on their heels. Isn't that terrific? What are you two talking about?
My future grandchildren.
I think I might want 5.
Okay.
Helen, guess what? They finally delivered my baked potato. Oh, it smells so good.
That's nice, dear. Remember to take small bites and chew thoroughly. Okay?
You're so good to me, my love.
Sandy Tigreeny here with a breaking world news report. Say bye-bye. Reports are coming in from all over the world. The innumerable UFOs that showed up just over an hour ago are now gone. Easy come, easy go. There are also numerous reports that our military was seen mobilizing just before the ship zipped off up into the clouds. We may never know if they meant us harm, but we do know we owe our generals and military men thanks for scaring them off. Yay, men! Just before leaving, the spaceships beamed everyone they had captured unharmed back to Earth. And here, for an exclusive on-the-scenes report, on that is our very own on-the-scene reporter, Maxwell Stidwell.
Maxwell Stidwell here, on the scene at my house.
Welcome back from your harrowing ordeal, Maxwell. Can you tell us about your release?
I don't really remember much, Sandy. It seems like one minute I was huddled in my cell eating goop, and the next thing I remember, I was on the lawn in front of my house. I didn't have a microphone or any clothes. Luckily, I have a spare microphone in my house.
Is there anything else you can remember, Max? Anything at all?
Yes, I think they made me watch a 3D film of a guy reading off a teleprompter some long-winded pledge about room service, and then ordered me to do things. Degrading, humiliating things. I refused. I'm a reporter, not an intern.
Did something just come back to you, Max?
I remember now. One of those things had their way with me, and it was not that bad.
Thank you, Maxwell. Thus concludes the scintillating saga of the Zygloom Conundrum. Your pitiful little world has been saved. For now.
And with that slightly alarming end, our saga is complete. I want to thank Ralph Turley for writing this delightful play, as well as all of our actors. And let's recognize our actors right now because they were pretty great. As Howard Starr, we had John Carone. Helen Starr was played by Diane Slamp. Robert Starr was played by Pat Lethram. Doris McKenna was played by Amy Edwards. Catarax was played by Harriet Owen Nixon. Gartzenbluck was Wolfgang Denler. Sandy Tigrini was played by Kathy O'Brien. And our Maxwell Stidwell was played by our birthday boy, Tim Harris. Oh, I think Tim's being levitated away.
Yay!
The aliens must have got him. Oh no. Thank you all for tuning in for our Sunday showcase of new plays. Please join us again next week when our Friday Funny will be presented by Sarah Sullivan and her Mystery Science, Majestic Science Theater 3000, which will be the unreleased Fantastic Four movie, which I hear is utter trash. And I'm really looking forward to listening to Sarah Sullivan and Dory Board rip it apart. On Saturday, we will have Moliere's Tartuffe with a new adaptation specifically written for the Zoom stage. Please audition if that's something you're into. Auditions are due on Monday at 5 p.m. Information can be found on the Majestics website. And then next Sunday's Sunday Showcase will be a Sunday with Shakespeare, featuring 3 short plays by local playwrights about the immortal bard himself. Thank you very much for tuning in to Majestics Quarantainment, and we'll see y'all next week. Have a great day. Bye.